So you want to buy a house? That is awesome, right? And there's like 80 steps that go into that, or 80 different variables in order for you to get that perfect house. Along with all of that, I've got 10 thou shalt not commandments of buying a house, right? So you're going to find the house, you're going to make offers on it, you're going to get it accepted, get through the inspections, all of that stuff, right? But here are 10 things thou shalt not, okay? Any idea how I know these 10 things? Yeah, I've been doing this a while. If it hasn't been me who has directly experienced the effects of one of these, it is one of my clients that has. Let's start with the first one. Thou shalt not change jobs, become self-employed, or quit your job. Don't do it, right? Banks like to see things all the same. Your loan officer wants to see everything all the same. And I'm going to use this word many times in this video, copacetic. Okay, look it up, copacetic. Your banker wants everything to be the same. That word for that is copacetic, okay? So don't change jobs, do those kinds of things. Keep it copacetic. All right, number 2, thou shalt not buy a car, truck, or van, or you may be living in it. Number 1, you're gonna have a credit inquiry, which we're gonna talk about. Number 2, it's going to change your debt to income ratio, which may totally swamp your debt to income ratio that is necessary for you to get that loan on your house. So don't do it, okay? Wait till you get the house with the garage and then put the car or the truck or the van in it. So just wait, okay? Number 3, thou shalt not use credit cards excessively or let current accounts fall behind. Okay, this is one I learned. I was getting ready to buy a house. I used to flip houses all the time, and this house was at 8172 State Route 48, Waynesville, Ohio. How do I remember it? Because I've got some great stories that go with it. If I ever get a chance, I'll tell you about the plumbing disaster that I had and almost started the house on fire. That's a good one. But one of the other experiences and things that I learned with buying that house is not using your credit card excessively. I've always paid my credit cards, right? I don't have any outstanding bills out there. I do those kinds of things. Right now, my credit score is incredibly high, right? But right then, when I was young, I was getting ready for it, and I had bought the supplies because they were on sale or something. And I knew I was going to be closing, and so my credit card balance went up. I didn't hit the limit. I wasn't late. None of that. However, the way that credit scores work, it messed up my credit score. And so the bank ran my credit that morning. It had changed since the very first time. And so I think I ended up having to pay an extra percentage point on the mortgage, which totally changes the payment, right? Big deal. Thankfully, I was just buying it for a couple of years and then selling it. And so it didn't affect me forever, but that was going to affect me for the entire life of the loan. Okay, number 4, thou shalt not spend money set aside for closing. Copacetic is the word. We don't want to change anything, so we need to keep everything the same. Copacetic. Number 5, thou shalt not omit debts or liabilities from your loan application. Why does this make sense? Number 1, if you omit them, your banker, your loan officer may think that you're actually hiding things or that you're being deceptive with it. We don't want that to happen. But even if you did accidentally forget it, or you didn't think it would matter because it was so small, when your banker, your loan officer adds that back in, it could change your debt to income ratio, affecting whether or not you get to actually own a home, okay? So don't do that. Make sure, right, your banker, your loan officer, they get paid for making loans. They want to make a loan with you. They want to make you happy. They don't like making people not happy. What makes them happy is when people buy houses. So help your loan officer make you happy. Declare all of these things. Disclose them. Thou shalt not buy furniture. I'm sorry, Rick, at Slumberland. I like you. You do an amazing job. If you guys are looking for furniture, go out to Slumberland. Rick, look him up. He's the manager out there. He'll do a great job for you. But what I want to say is don't buy furniture before you buy your house, because it will change all of these things, whether it changes how much money you had set aside for closing, whether it changes your credit score, it will change things. Just keep it the same. Remember the word copacetic. You want to keep things copacetic. Do not, thou shalt not originate any inquiries into your credit. Your credit is very fragile. Okay, think of it like very thin ice, walking on eggshells. You've heard people talk about walking on eggshells. That's what you need to do with your credit if you're buying a house. Thou shalt not make large deposits without checking with your loan officer first. Okay, your loan officer wants to make everything happen. Your loan officer does this all day, every day. They know how things are going to affect it. I don't know, maybe it's your birthday. Maybe you got a big chunk of money. And maybe the big chunk of money is only $500, or maybe it's $1,000. You deposit that into your checking account. Your loan officer may be required, because of the underwriter, to say, where did that money come from? And then where did that money come from? And chase it all the way back, and it just makes your document pile bigger and bigger and bigger. So just wait, right? Your closing is coming. Just wait. Don't do these things that are normal and natural in the course of life, except for when you're getting ready to buy a house, okay? Thou shalt not change bank accounts. Again, it just complicates things, right? You're gonna have a pile of documents. I don't know, this is probably a little bit of exaggeration, but it doesn't feel like it. It's gonna be this thick, your pile, when you have to give it all to your banker, your loan officer. And if you change bank accounts, it's just gonna make that pile a little bit thicker, right? So don't do it. Keep everything copacetic. Remember the word we first started with? Copacetic. All right, finally, do not co-sign a loan for anyone. You co-sign a loan for someone, what does it do? It changes your debt to income ratio. Doing a favor for someone else before you buy your house could mean that you don't get to buy it. Okay, I hope these are helpful. These are 10. I could have come up with 15 or 20. I could have pushed it down to only 5. But these are the 10 of the most common ones that I see that prevent people from being able to cross the finish line and buy the home that they wanted to buy. So keep these in mind, share it with other people, help them avoid that disaster as well. So again, 10 thou shalt nots.